Welcome. Today's lesson is on grammar tenses. So I know you weren't able to join the meeting today, so I'm going to make this quick recording. That way we can go over it. So here we have just our favorite season as a start off. So which is your favorite? Is it A, spring, B, fall, C, summer, or D, winter? Personally, if I had to choose one, I would have to go with winter, only just because of how Christmas, I've always loved Christmas and decorating and the Christmas lights and all the snow. It's just really beautiful. So personally, I would have to go with winter. But which one would you choose? So today's agenda, we have our warm up, then we're going to go over grammar tenses, we have an ed puzzle, and then our wrap up. So, of course, our warm up, which is future tense. Do you think it would be Snoopy? We will get ice cream now. Stitch, we will get ice cream tomorrow. Or Rubble, we got ice cream yesterday. Please feel free to pause the video, take some time to answer the question, and then come back whenever you're ready. So, welcome back. Thank you for pausing the video. So, if you chose Stitch, we will get ice cream tomorrow, you would be correct. The other two would be considered Snoopy would be considered present tense and Rubble would be considered past tense. So if you chose Stitch, congratulations, you got it right. So our second one is grammar tenses. So we're gonna go ahead and get started on that. So grammar tenses, we have past, which is considered past simple, past continuous, past perfect, and past perfect continuous. Then we have present, which has present simple, present continuous, present perfect, and then present perfect continuous. And then we have future, future simple, future continuous, future perfect, and then future perfect continuous. So here we have present simple. And present simple is considered a fact, a habit, and a schedule. So some simple definitions are a fact. Facts are things that are always true. Then we have habit. Habits are actions that happen regularly. And then we have a schedule, a plan of things to be done and the time when they will be done. So some examples. We have fact. Water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. Habit. She studies every day. And then a schedule. On weekends, we play soccer. Some more examples would be a fact. The earth is round. A habit, they jog in the park every morning, and then a schedule. The bus arrives every 15 minutes. Next, we have action. Action is a part of present continuous. Basically, an action is just something that happens as we speak. So, some examples for that would be I am eating breakfast, she is reading a book, or he is studying for exams. Some more examples would be she is preparing dinner for her family while listening to music. I am writing a letter to my friend who lives in another country, and we are waiting for the bus. Next, we have present perfect. And present perfect is basically using past experiences to describe who the subject is now. So you go from the action to the subject. So some examples would be I have studied English for years. She has eaten breakfast already. And he has lived there all his life. Some more examples would be they have never been to Mexico. He has read that book already, and I have finished my homework. Next, we have present perfect continuous. This is also known as PPC. It talks about an action that started in the past and continues nonstop into the present. So, some examples for that would be I have been studying Spanish for 8 years. He has been sleeping for 12 hours, and they have been traveling for 5 weeks. Some more examples would be she has been working 2 jobs since February. He has been playing soccer all afternoon, or they have been playing soccer all afternoon, and we have been waiting for the bus for 20 minutes. Next, we have past simple, and this is basically an action that started in the past and finished in the past. So, some examples for that would be she worked last night, or he ate eggs for breakfast, or I lived in Chicago when I was a child. Some more examples would be I watched a movie last night, he went to the store, and they cleaned their room. Next, we have past continuous, and this is to describe an action that continued over a period of time in the past. Now, with this, we usually use this tense to give context slash background of another action. So some examples for that would be I was studying when the phone rang. We were living in Canada when we got engaged, and he was running when we caught the ball. Some more examples would be were you studying when the power went out? You were not listening to the teacher, and I was watching when you called. Next, we have past perfect, and this is a tense and also used. So, this tense is also used to provide context for another action. So, in the past, but the past perfect always comes beforehand. So, past perfect, it is used to describe an action that was completed before another action in the past. Some examples for that would be Sarah had already left by the time you got home. She had finished her homework before dinner, and you had not met him until yesterday. Some more examples would be had they left when you called, had she seen that movie, and I had seen that movie before. Next we have past perfect continuous. This describes an action that continues over time and then stopped at the moment of another action. So some examples would be I had been watching TV when the power went out. She had been talking about going to France for years and we finally decided to go. And you had not been paying attention during the meeting. Some more examples would be she had been studying for hours before the exam started. Had you been waiting long for the before the bus arrived? And they had been living in that house for more than 10 years before they moved. Next, we have future simple, and this is to talk about an action that we believe will happen in the future. Some examples are I will call you tomorrow, we'll bring cupcakes to the party, he'll be there by 6 p.m., she will start her job tomorrow, he will not attend the meeting, and will they join us for dinner? Next, we have future continuous, and this is to talk about an action we believe will continue over a period of time in the future. So examples would be we will be eating dinner from 6 to 7 p.m. I'll be running errands all afternoon. They are going to be traveling all summer. We will not be going to the party. Will she be visiting her grandparents next month? And I will be traveling to New York next week. Next, we have future perfect, and this is actions that will be finished by a certain time in the future. Some examples are she will have moved to a new apartment before the end of the year. She will have left before we get there. You will not have arrived by the time the movie starts. And last but not least, we have future perfect continuous, and this is a continuous action that would be completed over a given time in the future. So examples would be he will have been driving for 6 hours straight when he arrives. We will have been living in Los Angeles for a decade this December, and you will not have been waiting for long before the bus arrives. We will have been cooking for an hour before the guests arrive. Will you have been here for 10 years by next year? And she will have been studying for her exams for 3 weeks by the time they start. So next up, we have our ed puzzle. This ed puzzle will be posted in our classroom because unfortunately you aren't here. So I will post it on our classroom. That way you can watch the video and answer the questions. It is basically just a simple video on simple present versus present progressive. Next up, last but not least, we have our wrap up. So our wrap up, I wants to write an essay, I wanted to write an essays, or I want to write an essay. So please take some time to pause the video and answer the question, and then come back whenever you're ready. Welcome back. So if you chose the third one, I want to write an essay, you would be correct. That would be the proper way to write that sentence. All right, so as always, that brings us to the end of our lesson. If you have any questions, as always, please reach out to me. Some overdue activities. We have our lesson 9 romantic poetry and our lesson 10 survey. If you have not completed those yet, please complete them as soon as possible as they are very important here at Engine. I am going to share my screen and show you where you can find them in the classroom. Loading right now. So taking a while, but it's loading. All right, here we go. All right, perfect. So the screen is now sharing. So you would go here to assignments. Um, all right, so you would be in assignments, and you would scroll down. In order to find the lesson 9 romantic poetry exit activity, you would scroll all the way down to lesson 9, and you would find it right here, romantic poetry exit activity. You would click on it, and it is a very simple assignment. I promise. It is super easy. So you would use the slide here to help you on the quiz. It basically gives you the answers and helps you through it. And then you also have your lesson 9 romantic poetry quiz. You can find it right there. And then lesson 10 survey is of course under lesson 10 grammar error sentences. You can find it right here, the lesson 10 survey. And then lesson 11 grammar tenses, you could find right here under lesson 11 grammar tenses. So, and that's today's assignment. So make sure you complete that. So if you haven't completed the romantic poetry, the lesson 10 survey, or the lesson 11 survey, please complete those as soon as possible. They are very easy, and it is just to let me know that you understand the content that we went over, because if not, then we will have to go over it for another week. So I just want to make sure that you understand the content. But they're very easy, very simple, I promise. They should not take long. It'll go by fast. So if you haven't completed those yet, please do them as soon as possible. If you have any questions on them, get in contact with me. Our quote of the day is learn from yesterday, live for today, and hope for tomorrow. And last but not least, our next class will be Sunday, March 9th, and our topic will be the Telltale Heart. It is one of my favorite stories. It is by Edgar Allan Poe, so I'm super excited to get to discuss it with you. It is going to be a fun meeting. So I definitely can't wait for that. As always, get in contact with me if you have any questions. I hope you are feeling better. Um, and if you need anything, just get in contact with me. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm here to help. Um, and that is everything that I have. So if you have any questions, I know I've said this multiple times, contact me. Have a great day or a great night. I know it's nighttime over there in Ukraine, so have a great night. And I will see you again on March 9th. Bye.